reflections. Screen flickers tales of crime and affection. Baristas mix caffeine with tales of deception. Lawyers joke and shadows plot their redemption. Case files like popcorn scatter on the floor. Jury's out in line, folks begging for more. Quirky loopholes twist through every door. Paparazzi flash for the courtroom encore. Legal shenanigans theater, baby, where justice laughs. Crime and humor dance, baby, a curious path. Grab your ticket, honey, let the gavel smash. In the flood of laughter, see the road splash. Scoundrels with a smile, defense on their lips.
Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome to Legal Shenanigans Theater. It's presenting, come on, Kurt, I thought we were friends.
Yes. Come on, Kurt.
That might be my favorite line of all times. And I hate it because Darrell Brooks said it, but just his indignance, like, come on, Kurt. I thought we were all being honest with each other as he's lying his behind off.
Yeah. And for some reason, even though like I am not a Star Trek person, I can hear the voice of Captain Kirk saying something, but I don't know what.
Welcome Linda, Lily, and Christine, and Mom of 10, and Penny. Welcome. So we are to the part in this interrogation where we have stopped blaming Erica for everything in our life. And we are now finally getting to, I don't know what it's called, but evidence of him driving through the parade. And Mr.
Yes.
Brooks is just indignant that, y'all knew it was more when you brought me in here. Like, sir, did you forget the parade run through? Like,
Yeah.
did you honestly think that you were going to get away with this? Like they were just here for, Erica?
Yeah.
Let's see. Welcome is Spirit Fleck and Anne and Scarlett. So let's get into this. I do have the closed captions on. Let me boost the doodads, all the doodads.
Boost the doodads.
I am a technical genius, y'all.
At least it's the do and not the go.
Hey, you know what? That's my whole name. That's the whole reason for my name. Because when I started this, I was like, I am like your Aunt Edith with a jitterbug, and she calls you to turn on the TV. Like, but what button am I supposed to use? So I figured I'd just, jump into the deep end. And when I figure out I'm going to have a whole intro made.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Isn't that
You lied to me.
Talk about what you want him to do with one of your kids.
And did not just
What
say
you want him to do with
I
one of
don't
your-
have any problem telling you what happened. The only thing I'm saying is I feel like you were trying to railroad me by how you went about it. That's
Darrell, many people would like to see you on a railroad. Not going to lie.
I mean, there's a joke about a train in here somewhere.
If he was in that, that psychological test where they're like, okay, if you send the train down one track, you lose one person. But if you don't do anything, it's going to run over a whole group of people. I mean, honestly, I would have to ask a question like, who is the person on the other track? Like, Darrell, not going to have a problem too much. I mean, I'd have to go to confession, but... And I'm not even a practicing Catholic.
But would you though, Mo? Would you really need to go to confession for this one?
Well, yes, because I believe everyone, if they remove their head from their rectum, has a chance at redemption of some sort. Like Darrell has a long way to walk, but if he actually took responsibility and personally apologized to everyone and let them maybe sock him in the face, allegedly in Minecraft, individually, I think that he could redeem himself. Now, do I think that's a possibility? No.
There we go. That's what we're getting to.
Do I think that's likelihood? I'm not going to lay all of my savings, which are less since Prime Day, and oh my God, they have a Dingus Lego set, which
Oh yeah, I
hell's
saw
yes.
that. Oh,
Mr. Mo is like, "Are you buying Christmas for the children or you?" And I was like, "Can it be
yes.
both? Won't we all
Yes.
enjoy a Dingus Lego set?"
Yeah. The answer to that question is just yes.
And then he just figures out the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Let him figure it out later.
Oh, you're right, JKD Buck. I remember he forgave the not good Christians for hating him in his end
Yes,
speech.
you're right.
That might
I
be a
forgot about
Rumble
that.
stream, to be real honest with you, because I don't think I can stop all the curse words from flouting out of my mouth hole. Because I already have a problem with what is an inside mind question, what is an outside mind question.
Yes, yes, you do.
Like I was telling Vale behind the scenes. So to play Sarah Boone, I really wanted to find a thing of Mad Dog 2020. And I've never bought it, never used it. So I went to a gas station and they only had 4 Loco, which I got a can of, but I'm pretty sure I will never drink because that looks like Mo passed out like immediately. The amount of booze. But I didn't realize Mad Dog 2020 had 40% alcohol too. So I'm over here playing Sarah Boone and getting somewhat into her state of mind. But it's a big bottle. So I asked the cashier, I was like, look, this is probably and I have my Sarah Boone wig get up on all of it. And I'm like, this is a weird question, but it's probably not the weirdest question you've had asked, but do you have a smaller bottle of Mad Dog 2020 so I can put it in my bra and pull it out for a stream? And she just looked at me, and I realized then that this was probably an inside, brain question, and I should have worded that a little different.
Yeah. Even though something you just said actually gave me an idea. So I'm going to look it up real quick.
Well, to be fair, there is advantages to being busty because I was able to put the whole Mad Dog 2020 bottle in the bra and cheese slices.
And cheese slices.
Because she hoards cheese slices, I guess, to make kites or to glue, or in her terms, keep her protein up.
Oh my God, that's funny.
They have found her with like 26 cheese slices. It's in her prisoner notes. And it's just like, what the hell are you doing with these, Sarah? Maybe that's how she keeps her hair so flat. She just rubs the processed cheese.
Gross. Oh, there's so many terrible jokes with that. But no, it was
Vale did that. It's
yeah.
awesome. I love Fort Grounds. After this, we'll be getting into the opening statements. Probably his opening statement. There's a couple bone steel, but we won't be doing the whole trial because I'll just throw things at the monitor. But we will be looking at that and giving it, a couple things, because there are a couple of moments, especially I think when he put his objection sign near his crotchular area, that really just grade A performance, Darrell.
You, with the state of mind thing that you said, I don't remember what it was that you just said about the state of mind with Sarah Boone, but I think I need to change the lyrics to New York state of mind to Samsonite state of mind.
Oh my God, if you did that, you would be my hero.
I need to figure this out now.
Let's get back to King Doucheface and see how he's going to try to, ameliorate his run through a parade unsanctioned.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. That's it. I'm not saying.
Okay, we've discussed that for about an hour. So tell me what happened when you
I'm sorry, Tammy.
We're not going to make any more progress on that. I get you're pissed about that, and I'm not going to fault you for it. I'm not going to tell you not to be mad. I'm not going to tell you not to feel like, man, that was bullshit. But Carp, why'd you do that? If that's the way you feel, gotcha. It's okay. I'm not going to tell you can't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how you should or should not feel about how I went about presenting things last night. Okay, but what I've confronted you with and told you today is your mom's car is out here. I've now shown it to you. You want me to, tell you all these things.
No.
Hold on. But what I told you from the start, and I did tell you this, is that part of it's a give and take. There's things I'll tell you, but I can't just tell you everything. We've shown you pictures, all right? We talked about if the roles were reversed, what you'd want my partner, Ben,
Yes.
to do.
Yeah, you did say that.
We talked about that. What would you want it to do if it was your kid
I have
with
gotten the weirdest phone call.
the broken leg?
So I might have to pop out just a little, but
So
someone's trying to invite me to a birthday that I don't
did.
remember the person. So I'm like,
a lot of
do
people got
what
hurt.
now?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out if it's a scam because I
Are
have
you
no idea who
serious?
this person
Yeah.
is.
Earlier we were there.
No, I'm saying a lot of people got hurt.
Yeah, there's people hurt, man.
Darrell, you were there. I mean, I have a terrible memory. I'm not going to lie. I forget things anymore because of the medication they have me on. And I have Post-it notes everywhere. It's like fucking Memento in my room. Swear to God.
Are you like the lady on oh God, what was that show?
50 First Dates.
No, there was a TV show. She was a CIA person where she would handle the notes, like the sticky notes, and they'd connect them with the string. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the TV show.
No,
Homeland.
I don't have Homeland. No, I didn't watch it. I don't like Claire Danes, and it's for a completely personal reason, but she cheated on someone and broke up a marriage. And in my book, I just can't separate that. So I haven't watched a movie with Claire Danes in it since that.
Oh, that list is really long.
I know. I'm basically stuck with like the Christian movies where they use the same 5 guys and Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Kirk Cameron.
Christian movie makers, do better. Use people other than the same 5 guys. You can do it. I promise.
Yeah. They're probably better actors too.
Well, I mean, they're good for what they are there for, but if you want to break into mainstream, you've got to be more subtle with it. And I understand that you want to, get your message through, but it doesn't have to be so ham-fisted. Also, do not bring back Bible Man. Okay, I think that turned more people away from religion than helped.
I don't know what that is, and I'm afraid to ask.
Don't. It's imagine Power Rangers level spandex suit, but he's Bible Man, and he comes to help little Timmy, on moral crises. And he's like, this scripture gives us a good idea. I mean, he doesn't really fight anyone. He just kind of nags you.
Is this is starting to sound like
a fever dream?
No, there was a Wayans Brothers movie where like the one brother was slightly handicapped, and so he created a superhero called Handyman.
Oh my God. I remember that. God, movies that couldn't be made right now.
Yeah.
Hollywood, remake Handyman, please.
Yes. Blank Man. I think that was it. Yeah, but he was handicapped. Blank Man.
I shouldn't be laughing so hard, but remember when we could laugh at things? I remember that time. I loved it.
God, that was such a good movie.
Like that.
Broken legs and stuff like I told you. Concussions, hit their head.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that happen to nobody, dude.
I don't believe you would either.
Yeah, but
And I'm not
there. They were on your windshield.
You just thought, yo,
Front row
this dude is heartless.
So tell us otherwise.
Yes, that's what everyone thought. Thank you for noticing context clues, Darrell. You're smarter than I gave you credit for.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, from his perspective, at what point was he not heartless because he went fast, so he made it quick? Or what was he thinking? Like, how can I make myself look good in this position? The answer is you cannot.
I think he's just fishing for anything that he can possibly say. I think is what he's trying to do. And it's just not working.
Whose audio is louder? I can work on that. It sounds okay to me, so I don't hear what you guys hear.
Yeah, if one of us is lower than the other or whatever, we can fix that.
Yeah, we hear each other differently than what you guys hear. So I can work on bringing me down or him up, but I can't really figure that out unless you guys tell us which one of us is low or high.
Because I got high. Because I got high.
Darrell should have just done that.
Just busted out into song. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a touch louder, so I can bring me down. That is not a problem. Thanks for letting me know. And why am I looking at the wrong place? Because I have all of the agility of a squirrel on speed. And you are low, so I will push you up.
Okay.
And we should be good. So let's get back to Darrell being like, no, I'm an angel. I promise. I don't know how you could interpret me running through a parade and hurting people as mean.
Yeah, I love Christmas parades.
Good. Okay, so James, this is Darrell Brooks. The Waukesha parade incident, he basically got mad at his girlfriend, decided to run through a Christmas parade, injured approximately, I believe, 77 people and killed 7, including a young boy.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that died were from the dancing grannies. So it was really a terrible case. Now, I will say that the prosecution, and I rarely, I did push him up, so Vielhammer should be up.
I think they're saying it's good now.
Oh yeah, they're 10 seconds behind. I always forget that.
Yep. Yeah. The prosecution, that's where you were.
They did a really good job. I mean, I think I was so impressed at how they, got adults up, how they didn't bring kids into it. And honestly, if you watch the trial, you will be amazed at the end when they do the victim impact statements. I do not recommend watching that without Kleenex and an adult emotional support beverage and possibly a punching bag. But the breadth and depth of the injuries and the life-altering, injuries at that, plus the, just the trauma of watching, you're dancing with your friends and suddenly they're down. Mm-hmm. Parents didn't know where their kids were. I mean, it was amazingly tragic. And at the center of that, you have an absolute asshole. And J.K. Diabuck is right. I mean, there was this medical examiner who seems to be, it's not a joke and it's not anything, but she seemed to be a very sort of literal person into facts, very kind of what you would almost say autistic, but not, just she seemed very factual. And then when she tried to describe the fatal injuries for the 6-year-old boy, she broke down. And these are the type of people that have seen the worst stuff.
Yeah.
The judge was a little wishy-washy. We needed like Judge Borowski or Judge Manning. We needed.
Yes. Judge Mommy was probably the not highlight of the trial.
I do question why they put a woman. I would have put a man in there, and it's nothing against women, but you already know that this defendant has a problem with women in authority. So that already set him off. That's already something he's going to try to rebel against. I don't understand. If I were looking at this as like the person assigning cases, I would have put him with a no-nonsense man.
Yeah. But it is what it is. And
it is what it is. She had great hair, not going to lie.
Because she was one of the senior judges or something like that. So she might have decided to take the case herself because she knew that she was going to make a name for herself, and maybe she has some ambitions to do something else later. Who knows? But it should have been somebody else, anybody else. Like even if there was I I understand what you're saying about the women in authority, but even if there was a woman who would have stood her ground, like
Yeah.
what's the I had her name last week, the Dep judge, the lady, who she was a former Marine,
I think that's
Jag.
Judge Alex Manning, because
No,
she will go off and she is like, you can disrespect me, but you will not disrespect the court.
it was
And
Ascarati.
mm,
That was her name, Ascarati, Judge Ascarati, and like she wouldn't take his crap. She would not have. So, but that was the downside of this case, is what everybody ended up calling her Judge Mommy, because that's how
well,
she very much came across.
but mommy that wants to do gentle parenting. Look, Darrell doesn't respond to gentle parenting. Darrell responds to early 80s, like flip flop a flying, I have a wooden spoon. That's what he needs.
Yeah, which clearly his mother didn't provide.
Well, no, because nothing was ever his fault.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's usually a good starting point.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I'm asking you, what do you want it to be perceived as?
Tell us how it is then. If we're wrong and it's not heartless, tell us what it was.
I'm here to listen if it's something different. I'm sitting here. I haven't walked out.
Come on, Hurt. Come on. Y'all know.
Oh,
Y'all know.
Kurt.
Listen, man. Y'all know. Y'all know. If I did not talk to that woman, I would have never, ever be sitting right here talking to y'all right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blaming her. Like I told you. I'm not
Sounds
gonna
like
Yes,
you're
you
not.
are blaming her. As you sit there and put her under the bus, roll over it and go back on and be like, look, I'm going to blame. It's like when Sarah said, I'll blame this on the wine. I'm going to blame this on Erica.
Yeah.
And this was definitely his idea of a defense.
Yeah.
He was going to blame all of this on Erica. She was the catalyst. You know, it's never his fault.
Yeah. It's like, just because the bus is short doesn't make it not a bus. I mean, it's like,
I would pay to see that. My first executive order as President Mo, after making the word literal illegal, unless it's something that is in context literal. And, you know, again, look, I'm not for big business regulation, but I will make all of the ATM, you know, or not the ATM, the debit card readers, you know, same across the border. It's none of this, you know, pick yellow if you want credit at CVS and then pick, you know, X if you need to go to Walmart. None of that bullshit anymore. We are getting all of them on the same damn page.
yeah.
'Cause I'm tired of trying to remember that crap.
Yeah. Not only the colors and stuff on there. Can we put the little tapper in the same damn place on the damn things, please? For the love of God. They're all different.
They require dummy cards. You know, the little labels that most of the places have so people don't ask them. You must have a dummy card. That's just all there is to it. But my third or fourth or 17th, whichever I feel, you know, executive order would be to retry Darrell Brooks with Judge Manning and have shock shackles and have it possibly connected to a chat where you could pay to shock him. But I have to check with, you know, the legal department.
I just checked and you're good.
Yeah. Again, someone's going to whine like, this is against the Geneva Convention. And I'll just simply say, welcome to America. We're not in Geneva.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why you're going to win.
This is, y'all, I'm just aiming to get written in enough places so that CNN has to call me and I can thoroughly embarrass my mother, which is probably maladaptive and not a good thing, but oh my God.
But all those embarrassing moments you can finally get back.
Well, no, I on a level, we are so different. I am like her alien child, which is why I always thought I was dropped here by ET. But apparently she says she was there when I was born, so that kind of takes out that whole idea.
Yeah, but they might have switched. I mean, you never know.
I'm a changeling. It fits.
She's a good woman when she's not drinking.
Darrell, we're beyond this.
It's not about
no
her
one gives a
anymore.
crap.
I know, but
And I
I'm
believe
just
that you wouldn't be in this position if you hadn't talked to her. I
would.
believe that.
You didn't have to put the picture down. You didn't have to.
The stroller.
But he did.
That's
Come on,
stroller.
Yeah.
So a kid got hurt.
Yeah.
Good
A kid.
Yeah.
or afternoon, Casper.
Bad. You said a lot of people got
Get
hurt.
checked out.
A
Yeah.
lot of people got hurt.
To me, it's a pretty good injury if a doctor's got to check you out.
Darrell, let me explain and put the pieces together. A parade is where a lot of people walk in the street. So there are, in fact, children there. So when you run your damn escape in there and still end up in jail, yes, children could be affected. You giant flippin' obtuse ass.
Yes. And you didn't actually escape, so there's that.
Well,
too.
I know that's the irony. He was driving an escape and he got caught. That was last week's. Like, drove an escape, still in jail.
Yeah. But screw him.
Or you got a broken
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah, so what do you call my shoulder?
The most despicable thing he's ever said. Like, yeah, but my shoulder hurts.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now,
I'm
let's
not
see
sure
how
that it
Kurt-
hurts all that much, actually.
Let's see how Detective Kurt and Detective Flanders take this.
I'm just making a joke, but yeah.
I don't know. Well,
That landed about as well as Amy Schumer's last 3 specials. You know, that pisses me off because as a somewhat funny woman, I have to deal with these chicks that just talk about their hoo-has and how gross and disgusting they are. So then all female comedians or female funny people have to deal with this, you know, we're not Chelsea Handler, we're not Amy Schumer, you know, that kind of thing.
Chelsea Handler is a comedian?
She attempted to be.
Oh.
Then she slept with 50 Cent, so I don't know what that makes her.
A quarter?
She's a dime. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine getting dumped by 50 Cent and you're like, I'm just loose chain, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
I would wear a t-shirt that says I dated 50 cents and all, or 50 Cent and all I got was loose change. I mean,
and some pocket lint.
yeah, but you know, I don't have much dignity. I mean, honest to God, you guys have seen the wigs I've worn.
I mean, true.
True, but thank God Detective Goodhair is in Sarah Boone's case, so I don't always have to be Sarah Boone because, dear Lord, I swear to goodness, you know, I don't have a lot of vanity. I mean, but, you know, it does get a little sad when all of my characters are not attractive.
I mean, I don't know. Wait, I guess maybe.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Maybe when you get to Courtney Clenny, maybe. But then again, are you talking about like Insta OnlyFans Courtney Clenny or sitting in court Courtney Clenny? Because there's a big difference.
Yeah, screw Sarah Boone. I need a glam squad of RuPaul's like drag, you know, team to come over here and explain to me how one contours. Because I watched all of the tutorials, but they do this clickety clackety thing that drives me nuts. And then they have the vocal fries that like, first we put on, you know, like primer, and it's really, really great. And this is, you know, this, and then they put it up to the thing, is the, you know, $70 palette that you're only going to use twice. And you have 75 brushes. And I'm like, oh, for F's sake.
I don't understand anything you just said.
I read a lot. I'm not going to lie. I do not read self-help books. If there is not a semi-shirtless man on the cover, I will not read it. Look, I have a genre. I like it. It's smut books. But if you get a good author, they actually research their stuff, and you do learn a lot. Not to mention I'm a giant nerd, so I watch all sorts of like really scientific-y stuff. I don't understand it when they start talking about math. I'm like, oh, screw that. No, I
just
got pissed off because little Mo wanted to be an astronomer. And then I realized there's a flip ton of math. So then I was like, okay, I'll be a chemistry person because I like to blow stuff up and maybe, invent something. And then math there. And I was like, fuck science. There is always math.
I mean, yeah, I was okay with math until they introduced the alphabet. Once that
Yes.
happened, I was like, I'm out. I'm good,
Yeah.
thanks.
I'm like, we kept these separate. There's a segregation between math and letters. What the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like,
I would like to lodge a complaint with Geneva. Damn it.
yeah, exactly. It's like I go to English class for the alphabet, not math
Yeah.
class.
Yeah. And then, teachers telling you, of course, you're going to use trigonometry in your real life. Look,
Sure.
Miss Fleener, I love you. You tried hard to teach me math. I hope I didn't make you a functional alcoholic because I was so bad. But I have never used trigonometry in my entire adult life. You're welcome.
I don't even know what trigonometry is.
It's something about triangles, I think, because then calculus is about circles, I think. I don't know. Look, they took one look at my grades and they were like, advanced math is not for you. Have you thought about homemaking? And I was like, I have. Screw math.
I mean, to be fair, there's not that many triangles in the world, so like pyramids excluded, and all those are old.
And who in the
Nobody's
hell is
building
going to
any
let
new
me on
ones.
top of a ladder? I have the coordination of basically a squirrel who's done a whole lot of Jolt Cola. So no one's asking me for that.
I'm with you.
Oh, let's get back to Douche McDoucheface. I mean, Darrell.
Yes.
I love that Kurt never said his name right once. I was
Yeah.
like, go, Kurt. Not all
Yes.
heroes wear, capes.
Come on, Kurt.
Come on, Kurt. I did that to Mr. Mo. He made me stop doing that because, whenever he would say something and I didn't have an answer, I'm like, "Come on, Kurt. I thought we were friends." He's like,
Oh.
he's so
That's
glad I
funny.
have a channel and people that want to watch trials because I think he never wants to listen to me talk about a trial ever again.
Oh.
I want to believe you're the man you say you are, Darrell, but I'm not laughing because there's nothing funny about this.
No, I was just saying. No, it's not. It's never been that. Dude, I don't take my life as a joke. I don't.
Are you sure?
No, your life isn't a joke. You are a joke. That's the difference. There's a distinction. Your life could have been better had you made better choices, but you decided to be a math boy fly.
This is
intentionally, not and unironically.
I wonder if he was good at math. Consider he's math boy fly.
Considering he spelled it a little wrong, I'm thinking, meh.
Well, I mean, he didn't get the English part right, but maybe he spelled math correctly, I think.
Oh, you're right. It was boy he got wrong.
It was the boy part he got wrong. So maybe he's good at math. Maybe.
He knows grams and ounces, probably. He's into baking.
Yeah, that's what it is, baking.
Okay, so in the trial, they bring in one of his rap songs to show that he, in fact, had the Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Where'd you get this?" And they're like, "From your YouTube channel." And he's like, "But how do you know that's me?" And it's like, "Because it's you. Because I can see you with my eyeballs."
Are you sure? Because I don't see a Darrell Brooks here.
Yeah, I am the third-party intervener.
Yeah.
I need to get Chat GPT to write the romance story between Sarah Boone and Darrell Brooks. Like, you're the third-party intervener of my heart. Tacit agreement of love. I'll drive my land boat anywhere you are.
They could form a band, Third Eye Intervener.
We travel together forever.
Oh my god, there's so many things you can do with that.
Yes, I know. This is how Skynet's going to get me. I'm all against AI. I think it's going to turn into the Terminator, but Skynet's going to get me with really, really ridiculous written stuff.
Yes, and now like I have all these terrible things going through my head, like of
You're
song titles
welcome.
that you can change to like terrible things.
Baby, you can drive my car might not be appropriate.
Yeah. Well, we could probably have chat. If you guys should be able to put together an album for Darrell Brooks of song titles. We can give you a couple to start with. So Baby Never You Can Drive My Car, and Jesus Take the Wheel. You can't have those two, but you guys can come up, I'm sure, with a handful of other ones to make an album for Darrell Brooks.
I think Tackett should have a K in it for me.
Yes. I think so too. It should be Tackett.
Yeah.
Not Tacit. Tackett.
Well, and
Like,
whoever told him how to say it correctly, I don't like you.
Yeah, you prison person who told him how to say it correctly. Or
How
maybe
dare you.
Judge Mommy pulled him aside and was like, it's tacit, bro. Come on.
No. Oh my God, I can't drive 55.
Highway to hell.
Pretty much. Oh, good Lord. This man is such a soulless person. You can spout the Bible, you can know all the scriptures, you can say you're a man of God, but these are the Christians people don't like. These are the people that turn people off. I always market myself as a, person just going to purgatory, and I don't tell anyone to think anything. I don't remember, scriptures. I don't remember that kind of stuff. I just try to remember I'm supposed to be a better person than yesterday. Except to douchey people. I mean, look, my Jesus flipped tables, and I'm kind of liking the whole flipping tables Jesus rather than the love everyone Jesus sometimes. So just saying.
True. I agree.
I don't take my life as no joke. I was just making a joke about my shoulder when you just said, if it's a serious injury, if you got to get looked out. And I was just saying I had to get looked out, but they didn't say it was serious.
Looked at, not looked out.
You're the guy.
Everyone would have been happy if the hospital put you out a window, sir. In fact, now I'm actively imagining the nurses pushing you out a window, which kind of goes okay for me.
I mean, we could, if given opportunity, we could have seen like the short little blonde lady like really put it on him. That would have been great to see, considering how many instances Darrell has had of domestic abuse against women. That would have actually been a little bit of poetic justice.
Not to mention there was nothing effing wrong with his shoulder, because when he tried to call out to his mama, on the phone, he used his bad shoulder.
Yeah, and he was wildly gestating Jesus, gestating earlier.
Yeah,
with his right arm. That's so hurt.
Yeah, you can tell when I'm in pain because I sit more stiffly, but you can't. I don't advertise it, and it's so. I hate people that fake stuff like this, because there are people out there. Well, okay, off the point. He is just a dirtbag. He's like, I got hurt too. Yes. I wish that the cops would have tackled you harder. This is going to sound really bad. Where are those cops that got fired after the riots? Because I'm just saying. In LA, if you catch my drift.
In LA and Minecraft, I think.
Yes. Well, no, the big riots that happened in the 90s because of a certain case.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Things being filmed. Where are those cops now, damn it?
That would be an interesting thing to actually look into, to see where they are now. Actually,
where is Mark DeFearman? Where is he?
He moved to Montana apparently to, because there's people of his ilk there.
Oh, well, it's a good thing my commune's going in Wyoming.
Yeah, it's a little south.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you said that part, not me.
No, I'm just saying that's how they, not how you acted. That's how they were acting. It's like, oh, well, it's nothing broken. Well, why do I keep having this thriving burning pain if there's nothing wrong?
Where were you going, Darrell?
Where were you going, Jerome?
Help us understand.
Not even the closed captions can get his name right. God bless. Blessed be the closed caption from them all shenanigans start.
There is one
Book
like
of Mo.
there is one like just a couple minutes ago that like where Kurt was talking and it says you're a girl, and I actually don't know what he actually said, but the caption said you're a girl. And I was like, what?
I'll have to look at it back because I'm trying to get better at making shorts, but I will tell you guys, I am god awful at this. Like, my goal is to become like semi-decent. I am right now at cruddy. I have sort of bad, and then I can march my way up to decent. I started out at dead awful, so I am at cruddy.
Hey, falling upwards. That's all you need.
Yes. He doesn't get it. Again, it's back to him. And I hate to use the word narcissist because that's just become synonymous with jerk face. But these are actual signs, and I'm not a doctorologist. But these are actual signs that he cannot perceive the world outside of his interaction with it.
Yeah, it's very much like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. Like that is exactly how she talks. Like the world doesn't exist beyond the bounds of Amber.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating because most of us, even those of us who maybe don't quite understand how to human, sometimes it's so correctly, it's Darrell Brooks. Kurt calls him Darrell, and Ned Flanders' detective really didn't talk to him.
Yeah. Other than the one time that he said that women were crazy.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he just lacks the ability to read the room. It's just like Sarah Boone. They cannot personally put themselves in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to people that can, because he would have known, had he been able to read the room, that, a joke there was not going to be appropriate.
But
you would think.
But at least Sarah Boone has the ability to put somebody in a Samsonite.
Well, yeah, but we have to walk in her slides because we're all judgy. Oh my God. I hope someone sends her a crucifix so she can just martyr herself, allegedly, in Minecraft. Just carry it around like the martyr she is.
Maybe she can slip it in there with the cheese slices.
Oh my God, make a crucifix out of cheese slices. She just walks around, I'm a martyr.
You can do it with cheese sticks. Just send her some mozzarella sticks.
Oh my God.
Shape of a crucifix.
It's just ridiculous. All right, let's get back to him like complaining about himself, because that's the biggest thing.
It got hurt just the way you want to know why your kid got hurt.
I want to understand what I'm looking at. That's it.
You ran through a parade.
Yeah, that's something you're looking at, right?
Because some people got hurt.
Yeah, people got hurt.
Now, I just want to say this. You know that when you said it wasn't the end of the world type thing.
Because nothing's the end of the world.
It is.
Aviation.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So,
I'm not a good person. Reason number 11-12,000, I wouldn't be a cop. I'd be like, Darrell, I'm not saying that, doing an Epstein is, the way to go, but I will get you full, very high tension sheets if you want in Minecraft. We say in Minecraft because technically you are not supposed to encourage unfortunate behaviors happening to terrible people.
Yeah.
So that puts it in the hypothetical rather than telling people to go do that, which I do not condone. Do not go find Darrell Brooks. I'm guessing Gen Pop Justice will get him, hopefully, in Minecraft. And with Jesus' help. Amen. Also another reason I'm not a great Christian, because I make these prayers. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dear Jesus, thank you for all the blessings. If, something terrible happens to your child, Darrell, it's not like I'm going to eat a cupcake to celebrate or anything. I'd be okay. I would, you know me. Sorry, God, for lying. But I'm just saying, if it's within your power to just like look, turn away, and maybe be gone for 5 minutes, amen.
Yeah. And to be fair, it wouldn't be a cupcake, it would be several
Yeah.
in celebration. So
Yeah.
technically,
it's not like I would put flares up. Okay, God, yes, I would put flares up. Never mind. God's like, he made me the way I am. He must love my sense of humor because I haven't been hit with lightning yet. Though I do wear rubber-soled shoes, so
just to be
kinda,
safe.
yeah. I say a lot of things.
Yeah, God in your life. No.
It is, because
That's what I believe anyway.
I believe that too, but you don't want to have God in your life and you're sitting in prison. Can't see your family, can't see nobody.
But you can see people.
What does
in
it matter
prison.
then?
This is where that old saying, it's a good thing Jesus loves you because everyone else thinks you're an asshole, is appropriate. I say it all the time.
I have not heard that, but that's awesome.
I'm like, thank God Jesus loves you because no one else does. Usually I use the C word, though, to be honest.
Well, you know.
When it fits, it fits. Like, I'm glad you have Jesus on your side, but everyone else is like, keep your name out my mouth. We're going to pull a Will Smith.
Yes, all the Will Smiths.
We can all be a-holes. It's if we recognize it and try not to spread our a-holeness around. Only sprinkle it on the people that really deserve it.
Yes, try not to spread your ale.
Crap. Damn it. Why do I never think of these things before I say them? Well, because, that filter thing that I don't have. I mean, I did tell a liquor store person I was going to put a bottle of booze in my bra and then suddenly realized that might not be appropriate. So, when you're out with me, expect weird stuff.
Oh dear.
One of these days I was about to say one of these days I'll be more guarded, but let's be real.
It's why we love you, Mo.
It's why my mother doesn't understand me. She's like, what is the stuff that's coming out of your mouth? I don't understand any of it. I really am her alien child. I swear to you. Like I said, I think I got put in the wrong batch. I'm the only one that didn't finish military training. I flunked out because fluffy people don't run.
Oh, that's too
But
funny.
every family needs a weird Skittle and a box of M&Ms. Keeps it fun.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Because
You know what I'm trying to say?
You're not put on this earth, Darrell, to live glory here.
Holy crap! Even the closed captions are like, "Screw you, dude! Screw you."
Yeah.
Because Darrell is spelled, let's see, Darrell. Don't know why you need an extra L. Because I would have called him Darrell Lola, but I'm an ass. Just like when you see Jeff and you're like, Jeff Fafa. I love that from, oh God, what's his name? He has all the puppets. Jeff Dunham.
Yes, Dunham.
Yeah, I stole that. And Mr. Mo's name is Scott, so I'm like, Scott. He's like, would you shut up? It's our love language. Funny. I didn't read that book, but I'm pretty sure sarcasm and teasing each other is our love language. So, yeah.
That's funny.
You're put on this earth to obey, do what's
and not
right,
run into fucking parades, you
to your
asshole.
Lord and Savior. So you live in the
Like, we
promised
didn't
land.
think we
It's
needed a
excellent.
commandment for that, Darrell, but we'll add an 11th for you. Like, just in crayon, in case you ever forget.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's that whole like thou shall not kill one.
Yeah.
There's that one, but I guess there's the injuring other people may not be on that one.
We'll put it in Chrysler's 310. Thou shalt not run, a car through a parade. Because it is uncouth.
You could make it Ford Escape 310.
Yes. The Book of Ford, chapter 3, verse 1. Thou shalt not run a Ford Escape through a damn Christmas parade, you giant asshat. It's not exactly Paul's letter to the Philippians, but what are you going to do?
And then in parentheses, and we could put it in red lettering just so he understands that it's Jesus telling him this. Yes, Darrell, this is for you.
From the red lettering. Yes, Darrell, I don't like you either, but I'm contractually obligated to care. But keep me out of your conversations until you do right.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, if you're talking about prison, I'm not saying that's where anyone wants to be. I'll acknowledge that, right?
Oh no, we all want to in
But
prison.
part of
Darrell.
being here is about doing the right thing so you can be righteous for eternity, right? That's what they tell us, right?
That's what they tell us. Absolutely.
Right? Do you believe that?
I do.
So do I.
I don't think I can make a Book of
You know
Mormon
why?
yet.
That's why I'm saying
Why I believe
nothing's
that
the end
so
of the
much?
world.
Why I believe that so much is if you would have known everything that I've been through in life just to even be sitting here, like it's probably a lot of times where I probably shouldn't even be here.
Well, unfortunately, you
Jesus.
are.
Why? So I know other people have heard this joke, but I haven't told Vale this yet, or this feral story. So my kids go to, a decidedly Christian school, which is great, except that children do not grasp, let's say, complex, ideas. So they learned about Passover. And my youngest, most feral son comes running out of the school, puts it in, gets in the car. I am driving through just thinking, okay, what do we need to do for homework? That kind of thing. And he's like, where is our door blood? And I'm like, we have a doorbell. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, the door blood that you should have so we don't get killed by the angel of death, Mom. And in that tone, like, I am an effing moron. I have no... And I was like, what are you guys? And they're like, yeah, Jesus came to the place and he was like, I'm going to kill you all. So you have to put blood on your door. This is how they're telling me the story. I know what they're talking about. I know what Passover is. And then like people painted their doors because it wasn't Halloween and you don't get candy, but you had to stay inside or everyone would die. And I was like, thank you, church school, for making me have to explain all of this crap. Then he asked, okay, but can I order the angel of death for people? And I'm like, for the love of all that is holy, no, you cannot order the angel of death and summon him. We do not have door blood. This was, so I'm trying to break it down for them. Like, guys, this was a story about God telling you, to follow his commandments, even if they seem a bit weird. But, to have faith in something means you do something, even though it seems a bit weird. And they're like, okay, but why door blood? And I was like, I don't know how God thinks. Like, we're almost home and I'm done. I'm like, I don't know. Ask God. Okay. I don't know.
Because they didn't have spray paint and crayons. But the fact that your youngest, most feral, is asking to summon the angel of death, you might need to order a bunch of holy water, Mo. Just saying.
I have checked his head. It is 665. I was worried for a little bit, but we dodged that bullet.
Okay.
At least I hope so.
Well, just keep the priest that does exorcism on speed dial, just in case.
I'm going to have a super soaker with holy water once the boys become teens. That's just how it's going to work.
Yeah, I think at least you have identified which one is most likely to be the problematic one.
Also, public service announcement. Young Mo might have been a bit like the feral child. And I decided that I wanted to be super holy, and my grandma had all these little bottles of holy water because she was Shiite Catholic. And I decided that I was going to drink one because I wanted to be all super holy. I was like,
God.
I am going to be so good. They perfume the shit out of that water. There is like perfume and all sorts of weirdness. I'm like, I drank some and I was like, and then I couldn't tell my grandma what was wrong because she'd be really upset that I told her to go to. Yeah. So my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I think I swallowed a bug." So yes, I did lie, but honestly didn't want to get in trouble for drinking holy water.
That's funny.
There might be a reason my mom is always confused by me. I might have been her most feral. Well, not feral, but just like that kid that is like, why? Why did you do this? And I was like, well, I thought it would be really fun to use Solacane to spray paint the walls since you won't let me spray paint the walls. And it does turn paint a different color if you're wondering.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was in trouble and my mom didn't do the gentle parenting. Let's be real. She was like that 1980s mom with the Virginia Slim and locked the door, in the morning and is like, here's a hose and she'll throw a peanut butter sandwich somewhere. She wasn't that hardcore, but yeah, I was not a happy camper. Well, she was not happy with me.
And the bar of dial.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I got that one. I think I got that one a couple times, the old bar and dial.
I will say, though, I was one of her smartest children because she had bat ears. She had, like, even now still, she can, like, hear things from 8 miles away. So I learned, maybe this is why I have all the ideas I have, I learned to creatively curse her out in my mind. Whereas my brother always, wanted to have the last word. And I was like, you're such a moron. Just curse her out in your head. Although whenever she did say son of a bitch, I was like, yeah, kind of true. I was in trouble for that, not gonna lie.
I can't imagine why, Mo.
I was just stating the obvious. I was like, I thought we were making a declarative statement here. And I was agreeing.
You would have been an interesting one to have as a sibling.
No, I was the goody two shoes. So my brother was always like doing things wrong, and I was so sneaky. The statutes of limitations had died on this one, but I was a master forger of my mom's signature by high school. Like, I didn't go to her for anything. She's like, "Do I need to sign anything?" Like, nope, got it taken care of.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I was definitely I was the troublemaker, that's for sure. Not my sister. She was the goody two shoes.
Well, the goody two shoes just sneak around and do stuff without being caught. That's the thing. But I was an introvert, so like the most crazy thing I did was like, Mom, a bunch of my friends and I are gonna go watch the new Star Wars at midnight.
Okay. I guess if that's the worst, then that's not that bad.
No. I mean, I waited till my early 20s to really screw my life up, so
Yeah, I'll just say that my record was expunged before I turned 18.
That's what I'm worried about with the boys. The girls have all this internal drama, and I'm like, okay, who is going to be pissed off at me today? And I can kind of deal with that. But the boys, I'm like, oh my God, please, please, please don't hook up with a teacher because I will lose my shit. The thing is, I have to worry about now. I never had to worry about feral weird teachers. And now I'm like, are you looking sideways at my 12-year-old?
Yeah, like it does seem to be like there's like a bunch of those like nowadays. Like it seems to be like more common than not, actually, which is very strange because like as a young 12-year-old, all my teachers were like in their 50s or 60s. It's like, no.
Welcome, Haley. Yeah, the thing is that I am willing, teaching colleges, hear me out. I am willing to come in and do a TED Talk as a wild feral mother that will lose her ability to rationally think to the point where I will be doing that windmill thing that you see chicks do while Mr. Mo is holding the back of my, thing, and I'll just be going, "Arr." But I am willing to explain that you do not want to see my wild feral hill chuck ass at your door at 5 a.m. if you have messed with my son. Do not see this face, see these curlers, see this, can of whoop ass, and make sure you are making the right choices, ma'am, because I can guarantee you that, moms are going to go off. It would be like how they used to have those little groups come in at, like a pep rally and say, bullying is bad, or don't smoke. Smoking is for losers. And it
Yeah.
was always really lame. Well, mine wouldn't be lame. They would be funny. And I would just explain to them that honey badgers don't give two shits. And you do
Yes.
not want to deal with a mom, because not only will we destroy you, but we will go on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything. We will, not only that, but I own a grudgery. Like, I will hold grudges for the rest of my life. And every time you get a new job, like, it will be my job to screw that up and say, "Oh, well, she was messing with a kid." Like, I will follow you like a bad habit. Do not test me. And I know other moms out there are like that. So
Yes.
they just need a deterrent program, and I am willing to go up. I have no dignity. I will go up in curlers. I will explain that you do not want to see this at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I will bang on your door till you come up there. I will yell into your Ring doorbell, and it's not a good thing. Do not mess with mama or papa bears. Do not mess with aunties. Some of these kids
Yes.
have cousins. I mean, I'm just saying, do not mess with children. I didn't think that that would be something we would have to say in 2024, but apparently it's a thing.
Yeah. No arguments here. It's a weird thing that has developed in society that I just never thought would
Okay.
be a thing.
Well, question, and this would be a real question I have for all these teachers. I am the proprietor owner of a 12-year-old boy. Okay, I have to tell this child, quite literally, in the real sense of the word, that a shower includes turning on the water, stepping under the water, utilizing soap and shampoo, rinsing those off and coming out. Standing in the bathroom while the shower is running is not a shower. How
Mhm.
is that attractive? And or they soak themselves in Axe body
Yes.
spray.
And the punchline to your question at your TED Talk for teachers is, and you want to put that in your hoo-ha?
I don't want to think about that. That's gross, but I was figuring more going on the terror and fear of having my ridiculous butt show up all pissed off.
Yeah, well, that too. But it's like, but the point is that like because they are so young, it's like they don't understand how to even take care of themselves, and you want a piece of that, really?
Yeah, I don't get that. I
It
really
just
don't. I've always been a silver fox hunter, though, so I've never looked at younger guys. To be fair, again, as a weird feral child, my first crush was Alex Trebek because he had all the answers on Jeopardy. There may be a reason my mom put me in therapy. Just saying.
you, I don't. We would have to take a survey of women, but I'm genuinely curious now as to how many young teenage girls like had the hots for Alex Trebek of all people.
Hey, it
I
was
mean,
a
it could be
small
worse.
club, which means I had an astronomical chance, but still, it was a very small club. You get into a K-pop fan club, I mean, that's in the millions. You have no chance.
True. Very true. Good point. Good point. At least
And I
at least
actually
you were
thought that
swinging
out
within
at
the fences.
12, which you know, again, I overthink things. But I did put the law of averages into effect.
So, and hey, this is back to the math thing.
I know. It's always funny.
Too funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is like I will say that finding streaming has been awesome because I'm about Mo to like a 7 most days. And I get to do, you know, well, no, I just thought he was really smart in that mustache. Not gonna lie. I have a stash problem. Burt Reynolds, if he'd been a little younger, and Magnum PI, oh my God. But, you know, again, there was a reason my mom was really weirded out by me.
This is enlightening.
Like I said, I gave my mom plenty of reasons to be kind of like, this child, God, I hope she finds her place somewhere. Because, oh my God, what is she going to do? Although she still asks me what I'm going to do for a real job.
I mean,
can you imagine this mouth in an office? I'd be in HR all the
time. I could. And mainly because I would find it hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't doubt you haven't had it easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you have.
It's a lot of times where
I'm not going to pretend to understand what you've been through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, man, I've made a lot of mistakes. You know, a lot of mistakes. And you know,
I'm glad they do. We have some difficult days, and it's nice to.
Okay.
Not intentionally.
Okay.
Oh dear Jesus Christ!
Oh God. No, he didn't.
Unintentionally. This is how I knew they were soulmates.
It was at this moment.
It was at this moment that Cupid's arrow hit both hearts.
Yes.
Two people that take no responsibility. Can you imagine, like, someone burns the mac and cheese and they're like, oh my God, the stove, how dare you?
Yes, the Boone Brooks farm.
Don't give them any ideas. That's going to be the next wine that comes out. Mass, good idea. I always wanted to go to the UK, but I would be a metric ton bigger, I don't know, 20 stones bigger, because they have Bakewell tarts over there, and I have a slight addiction, which is why I don't buy them very much, because I love them. So a Bakewell tart is like it's like a pastry crust, and then you have raspberry or cherry on the bottom, like a jam. And then you have, it's called frangipan. It's an almond kind of cake, and then a layer of frosting. So it is basically diabetes in a tin.
Okay.
But I love it.
I've never heard of this.
Well, I may watch the hell out of the Great British Baking Show and then become increasingly hungry during the thing.
I may be a connoisseur of the Food Network, but I have not seen the Great British Baking thing.
Oh, it is great because they have these like home bakers, and there's this really cute guy called Paul Hall. Well, you probably wouldn't, but he has really pretty eyes. And then they have like these, I will say, start on the early channels or early sessions, because they have these two women that are really funny, kind of just going in and talking to people as they're baking and having slight meltdowns, you know, because things aren't going well.
Yeah.
But it's really, and it's so British. They're all so nice to each other. And, you know, in America, someone would be stealing stuff or calling someone else an ass, you know.
Yeah. I mean, again, not wrong.
Yeah, but it's just, it's a sweet show. Mr. Mo and I can only agree on like watching Bobby Flay throw down.
Yes, be Bobby Flay. Yes.
Except these later seasons where he got a vegan girlfriend, and I'm like, the hell wants to cook with like soy patties? Ugh.
Oh, that's right.
Men, don't let a woman change you. Never give up bacon for a woman. And I'm a woman, and I say I wouldn't give up bacon for a man. So I say it goes. She tells you to drop the bacon. That's a red flag. I have very weird relationship requirements.
I mean, I agree on the don't change, but it's just a funny way to put it.
Well, that's like when I tell my kids. So it's hard to talk about, when teens. I love that we hate Darrell so much that we just get on tangents.
Yeah.
But I told my kids, and again, this filterless thing might not be great, but I told each of my kids, I said, if you are in a relationship with someone and you are not prepared to fart in front of them, you are not prepared to do anything more physical, if you catch my drift. Now, I could have phrased it better, but it seemed like the way to go. Like, if you can't fart around someone, then you're not in a relationship state where you're ready to go all the way, in my opinion.
That seems actually like sound advice.
Well, yeah. I mean, it made sense in my brain. My kids looked at me like I had lost my damn mind, but
They'll understand one day.
Well, yeah, it's just, I was like, if you're not comfortable enough to be yourself to toot, you run away and go to the bathroom or hold it in until it hurts your stomach and you think you're going to explode, then you're not there. If you want to be in a relationship and that involves physical stuff, I'd never force my kids to, like wait till you're married or anything like that, because I think, that's their own personal choice. But, if you're not willing to be your own authentic self, then taking that next step is probably not wise.
So you're saying, and this is for some reason, this is the only thing in my head at the moment, is you have to let freedom ring.
Make a toot of happiness. serve yourself and your boyfriend chili. See how you like each other afterwards. I wouldn't recommend hotboxing on the first date, though. I'm just saying, like, don't go to White Castle. But my kids are gonna have so much to tell Oprah. I swear to God. Or Oprah Bot.
Yeah, Oprah Bot. There you go.
You are my hero. Now, I will say that I try to leave the area my husband is in. My husband decides to come next to me and then be like, whoo, that was bad. And I'm over here not being able to breathe. I'm like, bring me your CPAP. I need fresh air. Like, what the hell did you eat? I think it's an achievement for him. I don't know why. Well, like, we don't go to the bathroom together. That's just weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Never hurt anyone.
Okay.
Not.
Where is a lightning strike, a divine lightning strike, when someone lies that big?
And there's been the opportunity for many in this interrogation. And
even
the fact
Jesus
that
is like, are you hearing the shit he's saying, Dad? Can we possibly? And he's like, no, there's other people around him. He's like, but I'll aim it really well. He's like, no, son.
you have
he has
to
a
be
chance
careful.
at redemption. And then Jesus is like, no, I looked in the future. No, he doesn't.
And because he's like, come on, Jesus.
He's gonna get up to the pearly gates and be like, come on, St. Paul, I know all the scriptures. And St. Paul is like, yeah, but you kind of ran through a fucking parade.
Yeah. He's such a piece. He's such
he really is
a piece of trash.
Well, and this is my principle. Everyone goes through crap in their life. Everyone has trauma. Everyone, it's not going to be the same. For some people, their life has been such that, losing a job or not getting a date is going to be a trauma to them. And that's a big thing for them. And some people have had horrific stuff. But your responsibility, and what I tell my kids all the time, is that whatever you're going through, other people are going through stuff too. So your job is not to let your crap, pile onto their crap pile. Again, I probably shouldn't say it exactly like that, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a good way to explain it to young people.
Well, and that's what I tell my boys, because boys like to protect things. I'm like, you can either be a protector and use, all of your experiences to protect people that are weaker than you, or you can be a battering ram and hurt other people. But you
Yeah.
have to make that choice.
And there's, I think maybe one of the most prolific things that I probably have read in the last year. And it's so obvious when you hear it, but it's like, hurt people.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
But that doesn't give you an excuse. And I think this is my big issue with judicial reform, because I think a lot of us were on board with it. We were like, we don't want a kid to ruin his life because he has a little bit of the devil's lettuce. We don't want someone who's maybe struggling and shoplifted and, change their ways to lose, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want people dealing with substance abuse to be thrown in jail instead of go to treatment. But they are now using it to like get double murderers out of jail with bail reform. And it's like, if you had one chance to make people go, we are building an island, we're turning LA into Escape from LA without Snake Plissket, which, by the way, Kurt Russell and Dominatrix wear doing basketball, ladies. I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
We're learning all Mo's kinks.
Hey, Kurt Russell in leather with an eye patch. I mean, I think I speak for everyone when I say, grr.
When I say grr.
I can't roll my R's and do the little, growl thing. I can't. I have some sort of mental deficiency. So I need a sound bar, but I still have my Stream Deck all rolled up because I can't figure it out.
It's like it was just the delivery of it was just funny. It was like, I say grr.
Hey, there's a reason Mr. Mo won't let me watch Joe Kenda, American Detective or whatever it is, because the younger actor that they have playing Joe Kenda, not Joe Kenda with the 80s perm, which he did have. They showed pictures. Men, perms are bad. Stop it. I see kids getting perms now so they can have the ramen noodle haircut or whatever the hell it is. Stop. Well, no, these young boys are like getting perms, like body wave perms on the top fringe or the top long bits of their hair to make it look more styled. It's called something stupid from TikTok.
Okay. I'm clearly not hip. I also have no hair, so I shave
to
my
be
head.
fair, I only learned it because I do Newsy News, and I guess parents are paying like $150 to get their sons like fringe permed. And I'm like, no, it's called no. It's called tell them no and give them a hair curler if it's that deep to them.
Oh my God, $150 for a haircut?
Well, it's a perm. I mean, it takes a long time. So they have to roll each, a section of hair, set it in chemicals. You have to sit under a heating thing. They have to do like a whole scienceology on it.
Holy cow. So I'm glad I'm glad that like I have no hair. That sounds like way too much work, because just shave it.
Yeah. Although, okay, I will admit that, okay, pregnant Mo, this is now a rule. I can no longer dictate my husband's haircut because 5th child. Now, mind you, we had a 6th child, so I already thought he was still smexy, okay? But I made him shave his head bald, and you have to have a non-divity head. Also, you have to not be pale, like really pale, because he did kind of look like he was on a list for a Make-A-Wish.
He says. So it's I have the unfortunate occurrence to have some dents, if you will, in my head from projectiles that were thrown. But they're in a place that you can't really see them all that well. So there's a little hope, but they have to be placed appropriately.
It was not the case. It was not the case. It was Mr. Mo looks at those pictures and he's like, I hate my haircut. And I was like, he's like, I look ridiculous. And I was like, well, we still had a 6th kid. I mean, dang. Although, to be fair, that was kind of motivated by trying to keep up. I'm a terrible drinker. I love how these stories are just the Legal Shenanigans Theater should be just be motel stories about her life. But so it was Mr. Mo's 40th birthday, but my mom also had a cookout, and I don't drink a lot. But when I'm around my brothers and they are drinking and they are professional at it because they're both in the military, so I'm going to blame it on moonshine. And also, I never have to get Mr. Mo a present again because I gave him, the youngest, most feral. He broke out into hives. I am not joking, you guys. He was 2 days out from getting a vasectomy consult.
Just in time.
Youngest, most feral is like, I will not be denied. He broke out into hives. I felt so bad, but I didn't feel bad because I had the worst morning sickness. So when he finally did get the old snip, I was not as he's over here like walking and like, I need peace and I'm tearing this out. And I'm like, F you. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, you're suffering. Now I look back and I was like, maybe I should have been a bit nicer.
Oh, I mean, you could have did something. I mean, you probably did, knowing you. It's like that whole one last time thing, huh?
Well, no, he claims I attacked him, but he never filed a police report, so he's like, I was like, oh yes, it was terrible. I remember you crying a lot. On a side note, NESA is terrible, but it's my husband and we're kind of married, so it's what it is. Look, when you're married, God makes a great trick because men can be ready to, smexy time all the time. But women, it's like Mercury has to be in retrograde. All the laundry has to be done. Like no children have to be around. And then you have a judgmental cat watching you. My only goal in life, I have one thing on my bucket list. Well, many things, but the one thing I want to do is really horrify the cats one day. I'll have to wait till the kids are out of the house, but one day I'm going to send the cats running. We are going to thoroughly horrify the cats. Mr. Mo's like, why is that on your bucket list? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, because there's nothing weirder than Florida's watching you. Like, are you going to feed me yet? Like, are you done? It messes with the mood, y'all. I'm not going to lie. The knocking on the... I need a snack pack. Where is Dad? Where is Dad? Are you in there? And then a little hand comes through the door. Again, no amount of Marvin Gaye is going to keep that mood going. Mr. Mo's like, ridiculous. Why are you talking about this? He's like, go back to Darrell.
Especially not my family, kids, anything like that. Not my child's mother, anything.
You have multiple baby mamas.
That's not how I was raised. That's not who I am.
My mom taught me to break.
Cause hurt, never. Defending myself, something totally different. Because I will.
Okay, so what did the people in the parade do to you, Darrell?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's like, it was in self-defense. They were in my way. I was beeping the horn, which he was not.
Yeah.
And above all this, he had his windows open, you guys. He had his windows open as he is tearing through marching bands, little kids dancing, real estate place, a baseball league of little kids, and the dancing grannies. So, Yeah, it's such a hard case. That's why we kind of tangent off. I mean, I think the less tangenty ones are going to come with the case because I can kind of stay on focus. But just him soliloquying here is hard to watch because you know what he did.
Yeah.
And you know how he's going to act because this is an old trial, and it's just so gross.
Yeah. But it's also been like it's been 5 hours of him doing this. Like pushing
True.
the blame off to somebody else, not accepting responsibility for it. It's been 4.5 hours of this.
Yeah,
This
we
is
will
what it is for
probably
4.5 hours.
we will probably go to the trial after this, even if we don't make it to the end, because it's basically just going to be him like, I'm a good person, Kurt. I'm a great person, Kurt. How dare you? I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically the dance that they do for the rest of this.
Yeah. And that's why it's really hard to listen to this one, just because, and that's why we're a bit more tangenty on this one than we are on some of the other ones. It's because
Yeah.
it's like it's hard when you know that there's grandmas, grandpas, maybe. I think they were all grandmas though. Grandmas,
Well, there was
kids.
one. So there was a woman that lost her husband in the Dancing Grannies because he was in the back and he was
Right.
like the helper guy. So he
Yeah.
would, stay by the van and, hand out water or make sure the grannies were okay if they
Yeah.
needed something. And it's just when you hear the victim impact statements, the fact that none of these victims jumped over the lectern and kicked his ever living butt is a testament to how much self-control these people have, because not gonna lie, I'd be tempted.
Yeah. Like it's rough to listen to know that it's grandmas and grandpas and kids. And it's like, I mean, it wouldn't be any better if it was all just, adults. It wouldn't be any better, but it's like it makes it that much worse
You
because
couldn't
it's
find
the
a
most
tiki torch parade to go through? Seriously, Darrell.
yeah, like it's the most vulnerable people among us, right? And that's the one thing that, society is supposed to protect the most, and it's the one thing that he decided to go after was the most vulnerable. Why can't I speak English today?
I don't know. I can barely speak English most of the time, and when I do it correctly, I'm just blurting out weird stuff. So
it's like I can't pronounce words today at all.
wait till you pull up a news story from like Nigeria, and you're over here like, this is going to be bad. I just highlight the name anymore, and I'm like, I am not causing a hate incident, y'all. You can read this. It's got 72 letters, 72 vowels, and I don't even know. Like, Hooked on Phonics will not help me with this one.
True.
I will defend myself to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's see how that works
It's
in Gen
not.
Pop, sir.
that's not who I am.
You're
Intentionally hurt people.
Also, he is all of like 5'3".
Yeah.
I think, or 5'4". He is like a little dude.
Yeah.
So please defend yourself to the fullest with Bubba, sir.
Yeah. He definitely has a little man complex.
Yeah.
Now it's fine for ladies to be that small, but when guys are that small, they get a little weird about it.
He's going to be a wifey, and it's closest to marriage he's going to get. So bless ya.
A waifu. Maybe he'll have pillows made of him.
I kind of hope they use a permanent marker to drop some, boobage on his back, but that's really mean. And I don't know that they have permanent markers in prison, but I can send some.
Maybe they can smuggle them in.
Ooh. That's a whole new level of Purell.
I mean, I don't think that they're exactly being concerned about cleanliness there.
You're in a prison. People in there have gonorrhea syphilitis. I would be rubbing myself down with Purell every day. I would turn into Howard Hughes. I would be like, no touchy.
Yeah, but I think that these people are trying to be touchy. I think that's the thing.
Well, yeah. I guess as long as I'm the girl in the relationship. I just don't want to take out the trash. That's a dude thing. If I have to switch sides, I'm still not taking out the trash.
Or you'll have to get out the pimp hand.
These are the things I think about at 3 a.m. Like, if I were to switch sides, my only real idea is that I would have to be the girl.
Too funny.
Yeah. Insomnia. Try it sometimes. You'll think about the weirdest shit at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
People were
when you're
trying
supposed to be sleeping.
It's not my intention. It's not. And I made a lot of mistakes, man. Just in life in general, man. I just feel like,
oh my God, the most honest thing he
almost
said.
40 years old, and I'm still going through case after case after case. It's almost enough to just be like, the hell with it.
Sweetie, Darrell, Dingus. No, you can't be Dingus. I like Dingus. Dumbass. Now, if everyone around, every time you do something, you catch a case. Now, some people might take that as an impetus to look at their life and try to figure out why these cases are magnetized to them.
Yeah.
But no. Out of the ether comes a case. It's like Jaws. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Can we talk about that for a second? I've never understood this concept of I caught a case. It's like, how did you catch a case? It's like you did something that got you the case. I know there's instances where people, you know, are whatever framed for things and stuff like that. I get that. But like the overwhelming majority, I would say, probably are not like that. But why do they call it catching a case? I don't understand these things.
Okay, well, I'm going to compare it to something I don't understand, noodling. Now, I don't know who in the hill, Chuck, and I am an Appalachian American, so these are my people. I have a pass. But how much moonshine was involved in someone saying, you know what, I bet I can stick my hand in a catfish mouth and catch it?
True.
So it's like he's noodling for a case. He just put his hand in the river of life and somehow a catfish got on it.
Okay.
That's all I can compare it to.
I understand this reference because I have unfortunately stumbled into that weird thing on YouTube once. I don't know how I got there, but I do know what you're talking about.
Catfish scare me. They look like mutant weird fish that, you know, if they had teeth, they would kill us all. Catfish creep me out. So do snapping turtles. There is a reason I only swim in pools.
Yes. And I see, that he said noodling is fun. Are you talking about the same kind of noodling, or are you talking about something else?
Wait, I don't know if catfish have teeth.
I have no idea. They might. Maybe they're just.
Okay, so you stick your hand in water infested with, you know, demonic turtles. Again, if I were Noah, there are certain animals that would not have gotten an invitation, which is why God didn't make me Noah, because he'd be like, okay, Marissa, where did the snapping turtles go? You know what, God? It was starting to rain real hard and I never saw them. They didn't RSVP. I am so sorry. You know, I guess we're just not going to have snapping turtles.
Yeah. Or wasps. Why?
Yes.
Why wasps? I don't understand.
They're mutant aggressive. They're aggressive bees. They're like bees. They're the Karen of bees. They are bee Karens.
But then, okay. Then explain to me, why do we have red wasps, black wasps, yellow wasps? Oh, then we have yellow jackets too. And then we have hornets. We have murder hornets. Like, why? Why are there so many?
Well, you know, then God created Australia with just all of those sprinkled in there. It's like, okay, I guess you do have a sense of humor, but it's kind of mean. I mean, I don't know. But Australians deal with it. There's like, crikey, there's an alligator in my thing. I'll just call like the alligator patrol. I don't know what that. Or like, oh, there's a venomous boom snake, but it'll be okay. Scorpion in my shoe, but you know, I'll just chuck it.
Yeah. I don't I mean, Australia is a whole other thing unto itself. But like, then they have like
Never
misleading
Google
things.
Anything we talk about.
Yeah. But then there's like, what is it? I just had it in my head. What is it called? A tarantula hawk. Did you know that a tarantula hawk is basically like an evil wasp that's just big? And they go after spiders?
Why?
Exactly.
God,
And
please.
apparently their sting is extraordinarily painful. And it's like,
Yeah, but
why does this
isn't there that
exist?
guy on YouTube that like stings himself with the most painful things, then
Yes.
writhes in agony for
Yes.
money?
Which is hilarious. But
Yeah, I mean, Schadenfreude is a real thing. I am a gold medalist. Like,
yeah, but like, why do these things exist? It's like, oh, well, because there's tarantulas. It's like, well, then why do we have tarantulas?
pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Look, I know everyone's like, but they keep the pests down. No, no, I have Harold the garden snake who really wants to live in my basement, but I always evict him. I'm sure he's taking care of rats because or mice because my cats are Garfield. They're on their side. We got 5 cats. Okay, well they have a spectrum. They are either Garfield or they are the most terrifying sociopaths that you've ever heard of. Because in the middle of the night you just hear squeak squeak and I go out there and they're all surrounding this mouse and just batting it,
Mhm.
letting it escape, thinking it's going to escape a little bit, and then they're all like tearing it apart and then they leave it in the hallway. And
Mhm.
I have a special pair of tongs and rubber gloves. I hate mice. Look, I do. Mice are
Yeah.
creepy. They're scary. They pop out when you don't expect them.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
So I will take my special mice tongs and I will throw it in the trash and then I will make someone else throw it in the trash or go take the trash out. And then I will sanitize myself because I'm pretty sure they have the plague. Although that was rats, but it's 2024. I don't know what's going on, and this is not going to happen.
Well, they can carry variations of the hantavirus, which is, a hemorrhagic fever, which is
Well,
fun.
Yeah. And those glue traps do not work. The mice are smart. The mice are like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, Darrell, let's see how, you're unintentionally a good person. I'm sure St. Peter is going to be like, this is all unintentionally. You and Sarah Boone right on in. Pearly Gates over here.
Yeah.
The hell with it.
The hail meeting.
Just let me.
Blessed be the closed captions
hell
for
with
from them all shenanigans flow.
Just let me fucking go, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do. Why didn't you try that option? Allegedly in Minecraft, that is never the answer. Problems are temporary. Life is permanent. Do not make bad choices. I say all that, but it's Darrell. There is a Darrell exception. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, but like he did make bad choices. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I could use some Old Testament Jesus here. Flip the table, Kurt. Come on.
Yeah, the I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance, said Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you, Zach. And I'm sorry that your poker game did not go well. I have a bold underline in caps face, so I have never tried poker. Also because I think I'm resistant. I have had 12 people, very kind, loving people, very patient, try to teach me euchre. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. They're like, you've got a spade and a book and a side and a spatula. And I'm like, can we just play war? I'm really, really good at war.
It's euchre it's the game of Michigan. But like
it's the game of Indiana too.
But it's like if you know how to play spades, it's basically spades with like a couple extra trump cards, essentially, is what it is.
No, someone tried to teach me spades too. I am just I have
okay.
I'm spades lexic. I can't get it.
Yeah.
And then they talk about all the things and I'm like,
Or
I start thinking about, who invented this game? Why? This is hard. I don't remember things. And then I kind of forget the whole stuff. And yeah. I'm never anyone's partner in euchre. If you have a a euchre tournament and you're like, should I ask Mo? The answer is no. The answer is always no. Now war, I kick ass. But that's more luck of the draw kind of thing.
True.
I'm pretty good at mahjong, though. I mean, on the computer.
Ooh, I love mahjong. I love
Oh,
that.
I know. I listen to true crime, and my husband's like, "Should I be scared?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe. I mean, they don't really look until you lose 3 husbands."
Mads, euchre is similar to like the concept of like spades or hearts. It's basically a card game where there's a suit that is trump, basically, and you have like bonus trump cards essentially. But it's similar to either of those if you've played them before. But euchre's it's kind of a, Mo said it's
A
Indiana.
Midwesty thing.
I've known it as kind of a more northern thing. I guess I didn't know it was in Indiana, but
Yeah, in high school, everyone's like, "Do you want to join my euchre team?" And like I said, I've had many people try to teach me, but it is like Helen Keller trying to teach, or that nurse trying to teach Helen Keller water.
yeah.
It's not going to happen, and you might become a functional alcoholic. It's the same reason I don't go to computer classes. I do not want to be responsible for that poor teacher becoming a functional alcoholic. I don't, because I know how terrible I am.
Hey, it's okay. And then
That's why
somebody
Fiverr was invented.
But then somebody invented Uno with a draw 4 card. So there's that.
Hey, Uno I can do because it has the instructions right on there and colors are easy.
Well, you have colors and numbers that you can play.
I know.
But then they have all those words with the word. They have all those cards with the words on them, like skip and. Hey, I know it as a Michigan game. Like that's where I know it from. It's a Michigan thing.
It is deeply rooted in Indiana, but I don't. Like I said, I'm a transplant. Now for certain parts of my family, it is very important that I was born below the Mason-Dixon line. Not gonna sugarcoat it, but I was born in Virginia, so
It's
I
close.
am Southern. It was chancy, but I'm still there. I can say bless your heart authentically.
and I was born in Georgia.
Well, see, so you have a full card. I kind of have a day pass of southernness. Like they're like, okay, we kind of sort of count you because we need numbers, but you're not like, you can't run for president or anything. You can't be a leader down here. You've never watched Bo Duke. I was like, no, it wasn't on reruns. It was Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
Yes,
I'm there.
Dukes of Hazzard. Yes, that was my jam as a young lad. That was my jam.
I will say on my bucket list is to learn how to slide across a hood. Of course, I'm going to have to be less fluffy. I don't want to leave it dent. And and I'm pretty sure that if I add Pam to it, I'll slide off. But I don't know how coordinated I am, and I kind of want it to work. I've thought about this. Again, I'm just going to have a stream where I just tell you the things I think about at 3 a.m. when I become a math fucking genius. When you are an insomniac and you wake up at like 3:47 a.m., you can correctly calculate exactly how much time you should be sleeping right now.
So
I become like Rain Man. I'm like, I've got 46 seconds, 5 hours, 2 seconds, and 3 minutes before my alarm is going to go off.
And you probably have solved like how to send people to Mars by now.
Well, yeah, but not to keep them alive. Just more as like a.
I didn't specify. I did not specify that.
I've thought about like people I would send to Mars without help.
Yeah.
Darrell is among them. So was Joel Guy Jr. and Chandler Halderson.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Simpsons episode where the Earth was going to go, bye-bye, and they had 2 different ships, and everyone was really happy they were on a ship. And then, all of the not so great people were going straight to the sun.
If he still has that body, like that's worth a lot of money. And the reason that I know this is because a 67 Charger, which was what the General Lee was, 67 Chargers, the reason that they sell for so much money is because during the filming of the Dukes of Hazzard, they destroyed so many of them. That's why they're rare and so valuable, is because they've destroyed so many of them in the making of that TV show. So if he still has that, it's worth something.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that. People ask me about cars. I'm going to tell you, my mom drove me around when I was about 15-ish and told me to pick out cars I liked. My first car I liked was a Pinto. I should not be trusted.
Okay.
And I also like the PT Cruiser. I'm not going to lie. If I ever got a PT Cruiser, I would paint it black, put flames on it, or possibly paint it like the Planet Express ship.
We could throw a supercharger in there for you and make it like an old hot rod.
Like I don't care about going fast. I just think they look cute. Which is, again, now I will say the Kia Soul or whatever that boxy piece of crap thing was, I hated that. So usually I like really ugly things, and those tiny little toddler shoe cars, those piss me off.
Oh,
like the one person
Yaris. I think is one of them. It's like a beer can, basically.
Yeah, I call them toddler shoes because they look like a little toddler shoe to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. Also, this is a public service announcement for someone that had to drive through Bloomington, Indiana, and general college towns. Yes, you have the right to have an electric scooter. I am driving a big damn car. I don't care how high you are. Look at you do not have right of way. Stop.
Yeah.
It's like that South Park episode where everyone just takes the scooters away. We need to take the scooters away. We cannot be trusted as a society. We just cannot handle it right now. We need to wait till we mature.
Yeah. Yesterday, I drove for quite a long time yesterday. And on my way back, there was a box truck. Okay. Like a it wasn't a U-Haul, but I think it was like an Enterprise one or something like that. I don't remember. But this dude, whoever this guy was driving it, like I was half tempted to actually call the number on the back of the thing for like the first time in my life. Cause this dude was just like cruising in the right-hand lane and then suddenly just yanks the wheel to the left and switches lanes. Like, and when I say yank it, like, I mean, it looked like if he didn't catch it, it would have continued to roll over into the ditch.
I love it.
And he kept doing it over and over and over again. And I was just like, oh my God, I cannot be behind this person because he's going to kill somebody and I don't want to see it. So
yeah, and when you're in the car with your kid, it's like, would you please and you're trying to teach them, this is bad driving. This is good driving. 1 second. I am going to play the interrogation. I have to run to my door because they just delivered my son's Christmas present, which is a computer, and Porch Pirates.
Yep.
Just the more and more shit that pile up, it's just like, what the fuck do I have to live for? To sit in prison? It's nothing for me to. It's over for me. It's over.
You're right. It is.
Right. I go to jail right now. I go to prison right now. At my age. There's no guarantee how long I'm gonna have to be in prison. There's no guarantee if I ever see my mama again because she's getting up there. When you get in your 60s. Not saying,
I think he's allergic to his
ain't
bullshit.
Gonna keep ticking, but you never know. You never know. So is my children. My daughter already going through a situation with my baby girl. The situation with her. I know, man. I know.
Okay. First of all, Darrell, we're all kind of on team. We like you sitting on jail. Second of all, I got my Dingus Lego. It looks exactly like Dingus the cat. So I generally don't grift, but if I get to 5K, I will build it on screen. Cursing and an adult beverage will be involved, along with super glue. because the cats like to tip things. Rest in pieces. Rest in pieces, Planet Express ship, and every
Oh,
other Lego that I haven't super glued together.
oh, that's funny.
But oh, and thank you, because I am almost to 4,000. I appreciate it so much. Children will keep you humble though, because my youngest, most feral, is like, I told him, and he's like, people think you're funny. I was like, yeah, I don't get it either, but you know, it works for me. He's like, why do people listen to you? I was like, well, you don't, so I don't know.
You don't, so I had to go to the internet.
Yeah. It's like somebody wants to listen to me. So the poll showed that we will be doing diamond painting. So I had a mini meltdown this morning because Mr. Mo was right. And I hate saying that because it hurts my soul. But I have terrible kind of decorating arrangement. I can't spatially recognize anything. And Mr. Mo is really good at trying to get things to work. So what I want to do is have like my L-shaped stand-up sit-down desk, have like my monitor on that swivel arm thing that I paid almost $200 for. But also, by the way, damn freaking computer thing is heavy. He already has
Yes.
the screeny thing, but it's the light up towery thing. I know there's
Yep.
a word for it,
Yep.
but those things are flipping heavy. I was like, damn.
Yep. They can
But
be.
I got it in, but I was more excited about the dingus cat Lego. So it made my
Rightfully
day.
so. Rightfully so.
Yes. So when I get to 5,000, I will be doing that on a stream. And sometime this month, as a housekeeping thing, it is I get my own month now, Vale. I am a victim. I have my own effing month. It is CRP Awareness Month, or CRPS Awareness Month.
Uh-huh.
So I will be doing a Pimp My Walker stream at some point, because I have the rhinestones, I have the glue, and I have the Sailor Moon stickers.
That's
It's happening,
funny.
y'all. Mr. Mo said no to the flares, and I can't make it a tactical walker yet until I get my concealed carry, but I contend that they wouldn't be concealed. So
I can give you some pointers on some bling for the walker. So I have my grandpa's cane, who he's
ooh.
long passed, and on said cane, he has attached a few attachments to it. The first one is he has a mount on there, and there is a large flask. And then on the top of the cane and the curve of it, there is a horn, so you can let people know you're coming.
Oh my god. I need that. I think, well, I have decided I'm either going to put in the name, well, I probably can't put, Mr. Mo said, you can't put in the name of cripple, I will crush you. Because Sailor Moon always says, like, you know, in the name of justice, I will punish you. And I'm like, in the name of crippleness, I will punish you. And he's like, no, that's kind of not appropriate. And I was like, have you met me? I was like, I want to put effing flares on this. Have my own theme music, a little boombox on it. Like, have you met me? So I think I'll just put like I have to get tracing paper and all this. I have, you know, ideas that are, you know, like, and I need a little vanity plate that says something like cripple pass or, you know, Jimmy pass, but not Timmy pass, which is even more offensive.
Oh.
My mom is going to be horrified. I am telling you, if I had all the, like, first of all, if I had all the money in the world, Jimmy Choo just dropped a bunch of Sailor Moon stuff, and I can, of course, get you know, the shoes because they're all high heels. So he had, you know, purses out, and I thought, okay, those purses are even $1,200, like more than my first 3
What?
cars and the Bondo that kept it together.
I I think I paid $25 for my wallet.
I know. I was like, you don't have a clearance section for poor people, Jimmy? Come on.
I mean, you could just go buy a regular purse, and because it's Jimmy Choo, you could just paint the bottom of it pink or whatever, and like you'll be
Oh, that
good.
is true. What color do I have to wear? I always mix these up. I'd be not able to go in certain.
Well, that one's blue.
Oh. Well, I'm very into the hip hop for the kids, I watched 8 Mile once. I know what's going on.
Funny.
And what's that one, Life's Hard for a Pimp or something, the song that came out? I watched that once because I was in basic training and that was what everyone voted for. I voted for not that.
for not that.
For anything else, really. But, popular democracy.
Oh, yes.
So I learned how hard it was for a pimp. He had like 2 ladies of the night he gave around to get a microphone. I was like, how am I supposed to root for this man? I want him to go to jail.
Oh dear.
He's despicable. They're all despicable. Why? How am I supposed to, root for anyone here?
Yeah.
Well, no, the women weren't despicable. They were, and usually I'm not a ladyist, but I mean, their backstories were more better than man getting a perm. Again, we've talked about this. Do not get a perm. In the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's funny.
Not a movie I could get behind, but I like Medea movies.
Oh my god!
Look, Tyler Perry in drag is my spirit animal, especially when he's like, "I got my 45."
Sit in jail right now,
like,
my life
just pulls out the side piece and waves it around.
I know it is. I know y'all probably just think, "Oh, he's just talking."
Wow, he's actually able to assess the situation here clearly. Yes, you are just blowing smoke up their butts.
Yeah. And the dude on the right,
these...
he sneezed a little bit ago. He's allergic to him.
Well, Ned Flanders has never been encountered. He's usually at home counting pennies or something, making, little train villages with all the different train things. The little people that make all the train stuff.
Yeah,
and
the
there's
model
like
train people.
and 73 or something. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's like so my mother-in-law moved out of her house and she had all of these, she had 3 Ataris. And Mr. Mo is trying to explain to her that you shouldn't just take those to like a Goodwill. You can get money for those.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how. I'm sure there's a broker or like a nerd convention or something. And you just take it there and people will buy it. And she's like, people will pay money for this? They were like still in the box veil.
Oh my god.
Why do you need 3?
Yeah, like if they're still, especially if they're still in the box, like they would be worth, I would think, like a little bit of money. I mean, because like I've seen, like you can go to a used game store or whatever. Like it doesn't even have to be GameStop. And like, because there's a lot of mom and pop places now that pop up that do like vintage things. Vintage being like, original Nintendo. But like, there's like original Nintendos that like they're not even in the box. And like you go in, like they're $50, $60, even $80, depending on the condition that they're in. And they're not even in the box. If you have something in a box.
I think she did find a broker. Mr. Mo helped her get those and she got, what they were worth, and she didn't get taken for a ride. But that does make me sad because as people get older and you're going through their stuff and you're helping them downsize, it pisses me off that some people will abuse that and bamboozle them because they don't know what they have.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad that she got paid what they were worth, and she had a bunch of trains, and I was like, my kids are feral. Thank you for thinking of us, but feral children.
Yeah, they'll probably get broken.
Yeah, I was like, they're still in the box because my father-in-law was very meticulous,
Yeah, yeah.
which I love them, but going to grandparents' houses when you have feral children is like going willingly into the Hobby Lobby glass section of death with my feral children.
The
There were
literal
years I
definition
didn't
of a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, there are years I did not go to Hobby Lobby because I had feral children. And I still only go when I'm by myself now. And now I'm afraid for me. I'm like, "Oh god, you have poor spatial awareness, balance issues. You're gonna be the one."
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, it's just we did get the Minions collection. He loved Minions, and I kind of divided that up between they got divided up between all the grandkids, and the boys loved the little McDonald's stuff, like little McDonald's giveaways. So that was sweet, and I think they will have that, but everything else I was just like, those are collectibles. Those are nice things. Nice things
Yeah.
don't survive in my house.
Yeah. Too funny.
Well, that or the grandparents' house that has all the like porcelain, cry baby. Oh God, what are they called? Precious moments.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And it's like they have just tchotchkes everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, stay away. My husband's like, just relax. I'm like, have you met our children? I don't even know where you get a precious moment nativity scene anymore. Dear God.
I don't know. That stuff used to be everywhere. Like I don't even know where you would get that stuff anymore either. And oh my God, you said you always had PlayStations. That means you were born like in the 90s, right? Or late 80s. That makes me feel old.
I will say, so I never got into video games because I die in Tetris. I have the hand-eye coordination of Mr. Magoo. I cheated at duck hunt. I was that close. My mom always got mad. She's like, you need to be at least 6 feet away. I was like, well, then I'm not shooting anything. My dog will go hungry and he will be sad because he will have no motivation. So choose your poison, ma'am. I'm going to be 2 feet away and a sniper, or I'm going to be 5 feet away and I'm going to be a stormtrooper.
That's actually a really accurate way to describe duck hunt.
Yes. And then you had to blow in the games and you go, I
Yes.
remember hearing my brother do that all the time.
Yes, you have to thinking blow in the cartridges. Yeah, that's. But then when you move to the advanced into on CD-ROM before you even DVDs, like then you had to run the risk of like scratching things and all that kind of stuff, and it was even more sensitive. But like it's funny that like these like you have things that were printed on disc or DVDs or whatever that like
yeah.
they don't last but like a couple of years. But you got like Nintendo games that are like 30 years old that still work just fine. You just gotta in them.
Yeah. Now, even though I don't like games, I love the lore behind the games. So it's really weird. My husband's like, You're listening to a 5-hour thing about the entire history of Halo." I was like, I like the stories. If they could just put all the video like story together and I didn't have to. Poor Mr. Mo, he tried to get me to play World of Warcraft with him.
Oh no.
It was a bad time because I just kept laughing because you have like this semi-dressed chick and you're supposed to press all these buttons, and again, spatial awareness of a blind bat over here, so I kept running into things. I was worse than Gary from Nerdrotic. It's not a good thing.
That's funny. Yeah, I watched Gary play once. I can't remember what I think it was like the one of the Lord of the Rings things where you were Schmeagol or whatever.
Ooh.
And it was funny, I have to say.
Yeah, I have no. I die in Tetris. My husband's like, let's get a game system we can all play, and I was like, I don't play games. Like this is not going to work out well. But the boys like the little. What's the thing where it's like a game system all in itself, like a handheld, but then you can put it on the TV and use the little detach the doodads for the controllers. They like
Is that
that.
the Switch? I think is that's what it is.
Yeah, we have one of those, and the boys really like it.
Yeah.
But now they're into Roblox, and this like I don't know. My youngest just tells me he's grinding on a game, and I'm not quite sure what he means, but I'm hoping that it's, an okay thing.
Yeah. And at least he's grinding on a game and not something
Well,
else.
he's 8, so I'm
Well,
hoping.
okay.
The 12-year-old, I have had to have a conversation with Mr. Mo because I talk to all the girls about the birds and the bees, and F him, I have no dangly bits. He takes care of the dangly bits. But he is spending an awful lot of time in the bathroom, and like, you need to talk to him. And he's like, why do I have to talk to him? I'm like, because you have dangly bits, damn it. It's in the contract. I dealt with, all the girl hormones. You deal with this crap.
Because
And make
it
sure he
would
washes his own sheets, damn it. No.
and socks.
All of teach him how to do his own laundry, damn it.
Oh my god. Because you're the one that it's going to be much more comfortable coming from you that he's, I don't want to say abusing himself. But like, it's like you need to
If I
space
find
it
a
out,
ruler
buddy.
in his room, I'm just closing the door and I'm going away. Like that's just it's, you know what? It's just not, no. Again, I dealt with all the girls. He never had to explain, feminine hygiene products or anything. I feel like I got the bum end of the deal. All he has to tell them is like, don't do that in public and, too much. And maybe look for a real girl someday when you realize you can take a shower with soap.
And he can teach him how to write their name in the snow.
True. I was always very jealous of that. I think Freud might have something there because I always wanted to be able to write my name in the snow. Like, I would do the elephant, the helicopter. I would be a menace. That's the problem. God knew.
So let me tell you about something about writing your name in the snow. Okay, so there might have been many, many adult beverages involved in this. But
these are the best stories.
It's true that alcohol keeps you warm. That part is true, especially when it's really cold outside. But when you go to write your name in the snow and it's really, really cold outside, it's not a lot of fun, I have to say. In the snow. So that's not a lot of fun.
And if you have a long name like Marissa, 7 damn letters, and you're dyslexic and you go to kindergarten, yes, I'm still bitter. Again, I hold a grudgery, which is why all my girl names are 4 letters and end with A. Parenting tip to people that don't have kids yet. You want to think about a name that you can stretch out when you're yelling. Sarah, it has a hard, consonant. You cannot stretch that out. You have to stretch out the middle. If you get a name like, Taylor, if you have that, you just think about it. Right now, they're cute little lumpy potato baby, but soon they're going to be a toddler. And you need to really think about, a name you can stretch out and yell. I'm just saying, parenting tip. I need to write a parenting tip book for like the stuff that they don't tell you. Also a baby book, because, there is nothing more heartwarming than when your toddler looks around at you and says, damn it. When when they use the curse word in context, I mean, it's kind of a heartwarming moment.
Let me tell you, my mom did not think that it was a heartwarming moment.
Well,
when I
no. I mean, I'm just saying it's an achievement, but then you have to tell them that's a naughty word. And if you're like me and you sprinkle curses everywhere,
because
it's not so great.
It was appropriate timing, it was appropriate situation, and I remember exactly what it was. Because I was a military brat, so like we were all in apartments and there's like 3 floors, and so we were carrying groceries up the stairs because you had to do that, and the lights in the stairwell, like they only stayed on for so long. Like back in the day, they weren't like,
oh yeah,
motion detected. Like you had to hit a button and they only stayed on for so long. So I hit the button. I was on like the 3rd floor and the lights go out, and I was like, "Shit." and my mom heard it.
And you're like, no, Mom. I mean, shoot.
And
my youngest has started doing that. He's like, what the flip? And I'm like, go, don't. I'm like, when you start paying tax, he's like, so when can I curse? I'm like, when you start paying taxes.
And I disagree. It made me feel very warm.
You feel very warm. You're dying of hypothermia. Did we ever figure out what happened to those Kansas people now that we're fully tangented? You know, like the whole party that like 3 guys just went out and became popsicles? No offense to the victims. But did we actually learn what happened? Because that whole situation was sus.
I don't even know what you're talking about, actually. In Kansas?
So maybe they were at they were having like a house party full of booze and I'm sure stuff. And they were all celebrating the Kansas Chiefs. And for some reason, the homeowner like went to sleep for 3 days and no one could contact him. So they sent a wellness checkout, and 3 of his friends were outside in like the freezing temperatures, just turned into icicles. And he was like, I have no idea. And I guess none of them really smoked. So they were kind of confused as to why they're out there. I haven't heard any update on that case. So
Interesting. I don't know.
Fun dying. Your dad's awesome.
That's funny. But yes, you're probably right.
So it's crazy, man. That
You can still do
my life
things
has to
there to make it
end
better.
like this when all I want to do is just love somebody and just for them to love me back. You know, and I lose my life.
Darrell, this was a choice. This wasn't like Satan take the wheel. You know, it's not like you were high AF and, you know, thought they were gummy bears or you were playing Candy Crush. You had the window open. You chose to run through a parade. There was nothing stopping you. There were actually no barricades stopping you had you wanted to just go home, rethink your life. This is not a like, you know, that meme where it's like, I bet you're wondering how I got here. This is not that.
Yeah.
It's just the way, and again, it's so self-focused. It's like, I guess my life's going to end here. No, you're
Yeah.
going to get married. His name is Bubba. And, you know, you probably won't have a reception. You might get some cigs, not going to lie. But, you know, you're probably never going to get a honey bun again. But you will be a honey bun. So, you know, it's all perspective, sir. This is, again, why I'm not a detective, because I would have put that in there right there.
Yeah.
Look, the Jesus angle doesn't work on him because he obviously thinks he's a man of God. But I would just put in, you know, Gen Pop Justice. Again, reason number 47.3 subsection 4, why I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
Encouraging people to just, you know, realize how bad prison life's going to be.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, you're pretty much a jerk. No one likes you. And God, I hope your wife or your husband does.
Yeah.
And I would like to tell you guys, thanks to Prime, I have a completely silent keyboard, but it has all these extra damn buttons. And I'm like, oh, hell, what am I doing?
The macro buttons.
No, it's got, well, it's supposed to light up, and I can't figure out what the light out button is. But it's got like the calculator on it, and then these like cursor buttons with people running on them, which I don't understand, and like a bunch of other buttons. I'm gonna have to have Mr. Mo tell me what they are.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, to be fair, I'm sure they're probably regular buttons. I just don't know what things are. It took me forever to figure out how to screenshot something. And I was watching like tutorials and stuff, and I'm like, that button isn't on my damn print or keyboard. And Mr. Mo's like, yes, it is. It's right here. I'm like, well, why don't they just make the same, you know, labels for every keyboard? Damn it. And those tutorials are hard because they make it look so easy, and then I go in and there's all these other options, and I'm like, this picture doesn't look like that picture. Because I will pause it, have it on the other side of the screen, and try to figure this shit out. All right, let's get back to Darrell.
Even if you're there, you can still do things to make life better.
Nah.
It's called making license plates and Levi's, Darrell.
Nah.
You don't believe you can? Why not?
I don't.
I used to think that I was a lot stronger than what I am, because my mom used to always tell me, you have my strength, you're not like your sister. My sister passed away, but she was more like my father, and I'm more like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she was
Also, backstory, Darrell's father was incarcerated because he attempted to blow up a casino. So, apple, tree, fruit.
always tell me, you got my strength, you strong. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that you'll go through that you can't get through because you have.
Mushroom looking at you would go through, you can't get through because, blessed be the closed captions.
My strength, but it's like now.
Yes, they need tutorials for dummies.
I'm 40 years old, man. Like, I struggle with a lot of times feeling like I'm a failure because.
Thank you, Barb Murray. The anniversary of the parade is fast approaching. And I will say that it was the most beautiful thing. I'm not going to lie. I cried. For some reason today, not going to lie seems to be my phrase. I'm turning into Kamala Harris, but I'm not going to be burdened by the phrase I've chosen today. I'm going to, move forward. But I will tell you that there was nothing more powerful than seeing that parade come back, seeing, the people, the grannies come back, the kids come back, and all of them do that parade. I mean, what a powerful message of resilience. And I will tell you that right after this happened, my middle daughter, who's very athletic and kind of is my alien child because she is so outgoing and athletic and coordinated. I am jealous. I think it skips a generation. But she was going to be in a parade for her cross country, and I was desperately worried. I really was. And I told her, I said, if something doesn't feel right, listen to that inner voice. I don't care if no one else is feeling that, but make sure that you're kind of keeping an eye out. And I'm sure it went one ear in one ear and out the other, but I was so nervous for her. And we live in rural Indiana, like boondocks. My town is famous for some, mineral springs and, well, the taxidermied coach that we have. Apparently the town I live in is the home of John R. Wooden, who I guess is a big guy in basketball. Again, I am sports ball, not smart, but for some reason, some very, very, I'm hoping high person decided to put a life-size and lifelike rendition of Mr. Wooden in the high school. And that thing is, his eyes follow you. Like, they could have made it bronze. They could have made it, not scary. But it is like a taxidermied John R. Wooden in the high school. I am not lying. You can look it up. It is the weirdest damn thing. Oh, Barbara Murray, Barb, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Thank you for doing the work. I know it must have been, because this wasn't like a one-day thing. You had kiddos in, intensive care unit. You had people that needed a lot of surgery. So thank you for doing the work to help people, get back to their lives.
Yeah.
And it's not something you can forget. And I really appreciate all the first responders. I mean, I can't imagine walking onto this scene.
No.
I can't imagine, seeing these kids just laid out, in pain, screaming, the loss of life. And I know that there are some not great cops. I acknowledge, you get a douche in every, bag of Skittles. You get a weird, okay, I'm going to call them good and plenties because I hate licorice. Insert your favorite, unfavorite candy. You're going to have that. But the police officers that went in and, tried to help, and the bystanders that, came in and helped and got blankets and made these people feel okay, held their hands if they were passing away.
Yeah.
That's why we tangent off, because if you look at this straight on and seriously, it is beyond horrific, and it still is horrific. But, we try to bring levity. We try to, honor the victims by roasting the hell out of Darrell. It's our, it's the thing we can do until we get shock shackles that you can, touch on chat. I'm just saying. Yeah. Again, we would cure the deficit. That ish would be funny. Yes, I mean, not humane. So, that for that whole 8th Amendment thing, but I think we can make exceptions. I really do. Vote me in for president.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Hand jobs and schadenfreude for everyone.
Which if you don't know, have fun with that one.
Okay, if everyone wants to hear the hand job story, I will tell it again, because it's actually fairly funny, and like all stories, they generally originate from my youngest, most feral. And I really don't want to listen to Darrell anymore. I am just honestly done with his ridiculousness and pity party. But I have told this story before, so if you've heard it, just pretend it's the first time, Anywho, my oldest daughter is getting ready to go to college. So we are getting a lot of college stuff. We are getting, like, hey, come look at this college, we'll get this here. And my youngest, most feral son, and I am not joking you, the exact lifelike, if they ever make a real life King of the Hill, I in fact had Bobby Hill in the flesh. So my middle son is, I should have named him Bobby, but I wasn't aware that he was going to turn into Bobby Hill / Chris Farley. If he doesn't get his hair cut, he looks like, I don't remember what his name is, but in a van down by the river.
I think that was Chris Farley.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the name of the guy was. Yes. And thank you, Barb Murray, for the $2. And a friend works at the Waukesha jail. He is a poo thrower. That honestly doesn't shock me. He seems like one who would be okay playing with his own filth.
That's lovely to know.
Although someone has to pick that up, and I think it should be him, but
yeah,
justice is never that great. So God bless those custodians who have to deal with this, his literal crap.
Yeah. Not just the metaphorical.
Yeah. So, and again, thank you, Barbara, before I get into my hand job story, and all the first responders and nurses and doctors that work to save lives. All right. So my youngest 2 sons are not so great at school. They don't want, school is boring for kids. So they're like, we have to go to school after high school. And I said, no, you don't have to, because I'm a big fan of going to technical schools and, learning a trade. I think you should learn a skill. I told my girls that. I was like, even if you decide to go, one way to college to a career, try to pick up skills that you can use in your everyday life. Mr. Mo does construction, ask him how things work, that kind of thing. I want them to be, more prepared to go into the world than I was, and having a skill that doesn't, that is always needed is great. I was like, I know you might not like plumbing or electrical stuff, but cosmetology, things like that. And it wasn't trying to be like all gendery, but, that kind of thing, or learning to weld or things like that. So I told my boys, like, you can work with your hands, you can do, lumber stuff, you can do construction, and we watch Dirty Jobs. So I am driving them to school with, the firm air, almost Sarah-like, confidence that I am being a good mom, that I have taught my children, that college is not, the only way. And, maybe I am raising my own construction team and we can flip houses and get a TLC show. So I am having all of these very empowered, awesome things. And we are driving to their Shiite Christian school, like girls can't wear skirts above the knee kind of school. And I am slowly keying in that there is a conversation in the background because I am hearing things like, hand jobs are great. I'm going to do so many hand jobs instead of college. I'm going to tell all my friends to do hand jobs. This is awesome. Now, at this point, when I have finally figured out what this conversation is going on, 99% of my brain is rolling on the floor, laughing its ass off. So it is unable to render aid. So I am still driving and I'm like, no, it's work with your hands. It is vocational work. It is. And my youngest son, dead ass, looks me in the eye and said, yes, I know. I shortened it to make it easier to say hand jobs. And he's like, I'm going to tell my teacher, I'm going to tell everybody, hand jobs are awesome. People are so dumb to go to college. Everyone should do hand jobs. And again, like I said, 99% of my brain is, snort laughing, crying, rolling on the floor, not able to help. And I'm like, if you say that to your teacher, because, moms, we have that nice voice, but then we have that demonic voice we use, like in Olive Garden, when one child is being bad, we're like, if you don't stop it, I will take you to the car. Oh, thank you. Here's our appetizer. So great. Yeah. I will destroy you. That kind of thing. I mean, obviously I didn't say destroy you, but moms, you have that voice where you don't move your lips and you want to pretend like you're still in a really good mood and we're out in public, but you are threatening your child to like within an inch of its life.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Vale's like, I need an adult. Where's the therapist? And I finally said, I was like, you are not allowed to say that. And if you say that at school, you will lose your iPad forever. You will never get the internet again because they love their iPads. So I was trying to think. And then they said, well, why can't I? And I looked them dead in the eye and I said, you have to ask your father when you get home. And they're like, okay, well, do you know why we're not supposed to say it? I said, no, your father is dealing with this when he gets home. So I dropped them off at the school and I am waiting for the pastor / principal to call me and explain to me that my kids need to be like doused in holy water. I am waiting for this. And on my drive home, I call Mr. Mo and I am like, your child, do you know what he said? And I tell him all this and I was like, you take care of this. This is dangly bit stuff. No. We haven't explained to them why that's bad, but because dear God, that would probably be spread around the school too.
Oh no.
But yes, they have been threatened to never become Amish basically if they ever say that. But I was just like, dear Lord, as I'm driving back home after I call Mr. Mo to explain to him that he has to deal with this ash storm when he gets home, I am praying to God. I'm like, dear Lord, I am over here trying to do the very, very best I can. I'm not a perfect mom. I try my best. I was trying to get people to do vocational schools and you give me hand jobs. What am I supposed to do with this? Your son was a carpenter. My kid apparently, well, he just wants to get CPS called on me. And with that, we will be ending this. We will not be finishing up this interrogation because it's mostly just him making crap up.
Yeah.
I will go through. I know that there's a couple of witnesses. Laser Eye Dad, that had the meanest like dad stare ever. He was the coach for the Little League, unfortunately, where one of the children passed away.
Oh yeah.
There is Mr. Bone Steel, who, if he doesn't work for WWE, his neck was like the size of my thigh, and I am not a thigh gap kind of girl. So he was swole. And his name was Bone Steel. I mean, do you imagine the amount of shenanigans I would get into if my last name was Bone Steel?
Wasn't that the character that Macho Man played in Spider-Man? Bone Steel's ready.
I don't know.
Or no, Bone Saw. That's what his name was. I was like...
And then, of course, we'll get Darrell Brooks' soliloquy of stupid. And we'll probably do my favorite day. And look, like I said, I hold a grudge. I love people suffering, especially when they're buttholes. The day he came in the yellow shirt and his mom had fed him the information about the recall, and you would have thought like he came in like they were going to take these shackles off him. He was going to get, out of jail, $200 Monopoly money. And to see that shot down was just, look, it warms my heart. I'm not going to say that I have, non-maladaptive coping mechanisms. But it warmed my heart to see him lose hope right in front of me and get all pissed off about it.
Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong.
Look, I just say the things out loud that you're supposed to keep inside.
And that's okay.
So thank you guys all for joining, and really thank all of you for your support. I am so close to 4,000, and I never would have imagined that I'd be anywhere close to this. So, thank you all so much for your support and, just enjoying my tangents and newsy news and, all that. We will be starting with Sarah, and I will be on Publicly Buzzed around 8 p.m. as quote unquote Sarah. So, again, I am going to wear the Detective Good hair wig most of the time because I do have just a little vanity. Although I swear to God, I'm going to go full Cher. Like I feel so Cher in that. Honest to goodness, I would be the most flamboyant Liberace man if I were a male. Like everything would be bedazzled. There would be absolutely no guesswork. And
like Richard Simmons?
Hell's yeah. Well, not with the Daisy Dukes. Like I have too many body issues. But Liberace, I'd have a cape, a cane bedazzled. I'd have, glass or crystal chandeliers. I'd be like Siegfried and Roy without the tigers because those seem like a safety danger. I have told Mr. Mo this, and he's like, "Why do you think about these things?" I don't know. Doesn't everyone think who they'd be if they were, the other side? And I'd be worse than Elton John. Also, I do have one bone to pick with the early 90s. If you, like me, fell in love with, George Michael when he did Faith, and then you realized that was never going to be an option, that was crushing as a preteen.
She went from George Michael to Alex Trebek.
Well, like I said, I never said I make sense. I never said there was logic to anything I did. I said that it happens.
It's starting to make sense now.
Bye, you guys. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Do one nice thing for yourself. Do one nice thing for someone else. It can be as simple as a compliment. But if people are a-holes, well, then that's free game. Look, I'm not Jesus. I say flip some tables, but allegedly in Minecraft. Bye, you guys.
See ya.